Hi guys, welcome. View with Stu here, and I'm carrying on my series as I take an in-depth look at the different tools available to you in the game Demonologist, which is currently in early access. Uh, Last episode, I was showing you the candle and trying to explain as best I could how it's used, why you take it. Well, today I'm planning on talking to you about the EMF reader. The EMF reader, I think, is an S tier, fantastic tool, and I would use one in every mission that I enter. In fact, it's my go to. I would pick this one up the first time I'm heading into a house, and hopefully, I'll be able to explain to you how to use it, when to use it, and why it's my go to. So, here we go. So, starting off, let's read the description. EMF is a device that detects electromagnetic waves left behind by paranormal activity, and it costs the whopping sum of 1,100 in-game dollars. So what do you need to understand from that description? This is a tool that serves two purposes, okay? Purpose number one is it detects ghost activity. It doesn't detect the ghosts themselves, it detects the activity. So if a ghost touches something, throws something, closes a door, even talks, if a ghost makes noise, this will detect it and it will start beeping and it will give you a number. Okay, now the number means a couple of things and I'll go into that later. But the main thing to understand is that this detects the activity of a ghost. It doesn't detect the ghost itself. So if you walk into a room and the ghost is quiet, not moving, so for example, when you first enter the houses, the ghosts tend to be very quiet. Okay, if you walk into a room with the ghost and you're holding this device, it's not going to detect that ghost. It's not going to beep, it's not going to show a number unless the ghost does something, as I said, by throwing something, by touching something, turning lights on, screaming, whatever. At that point, this will pick that up and it will start beeping. Okay, now I'll show you in game how this is actually directional. So if you were facing away from a ghost or its activity, it might not pick up on that activity if you're facing the wrong direction. It's best to point this tool at the activity. Okay, so if you're walking along a corridor at the beginning of a mission and you hear in the distance something being thrown, which happens quite often, the ghosts like to throw things. Once you hear that sound of a bottle, take out your EMF device, this one, and start turning until the EMF device buzzes, makes a noise, shows a number. Okay, you have to be facing the activity before this will pick it up. So the first point about the EMF reader is that it's good for detecting ghosts, okay? And it will detect every ghost, all right? It won't only pick up certain ghosts, it will pick up all ghosts and their activity. So it's good in every mission. The second good point about the EMF reader is that it's an evidence collector. Some ghosts have an EMF 5 evidence, EMF level 5, okay? I'll show you this when we go into the gameplay, but basically a number shows on the EMF device when it detects activity, and that number ranges from 2 to 5. Okay? If the activity elicits a 2, a 3, a 4 response, that doesn't mean that the ghost is an EMF ghost, an EMF evidence ghost. Okay? A ghost is only an EMF evidence ghost if that number reaches 5. Okay? If you see 5 on your EMF reader, you've found your evidence. This is an EMF level 5 ghost, and you can go into your evidence logbook and tick it. So, it's a really useful tool. It helps you find ghosts, all ghosts. It helps you find the room they're in. And it collects evidence. It can detect certain types of ghosts. It gives an EMF level 5 reading, and you can tick that off in your book. One step done. So I'll show you some gameplay of me using this, and then we'll have a little bit of a summary towards the end. So let's get started. So this is an EMF reader, guys. This is what it looks like. Again, it's my go-to. I really do like to take it with me on all my missions. It's the very first one I pick up. So what I prefer to do is hold it, walk through the house, start turning on lights, go through the entire house, checking as many rooms as possible. And what I'm looking for is an indicator on this tool to say that it's detected something. So I should see a number, or I should hear a sound, or the lights should come on the device. And that should give me an indication of where the ghost is. It will either show me the direction the ghost is in, or the room the ghost is in. So I think what we'll do is we'll skip ahead a little. There we go. There it is. Right, so as you see, we've got some lights, we've got some dinging sounds. I wasn't detecting anything when I first entered the room. It only detected when the ghost started to interact with me, okay? Now I've only just entered the house and already this ghost is going crazy, so we've got a real special type of ghost here. Look, it's closing doors. When I walk up to a door, something that it's touched, you'll notice it beeps louder. Okay, we've got a level 4 here. Right? Anything it touches, anything it throws, this device is picking up on it. If you drop it on the floor, you'll notice that it still makes a sound. It still acts in the same way even when left on the ground. It's still active. Okay, we've got a 2 now. That could indicate that we're pointing away from the source. Okay, no activity. The ghost has stopped. I start talking to it here. As you can see, the moment it threw something, the detector started flashing. Level 4. So as I mentioned earlier on, level 4 is not evidence. Level 4 is just this device detecting that there's a strong ghost presence. Okay? Notice it goes to 4 when it's talking. So again, it's not just things it physically does. It's also when it communicates to you, it will also set this device off. Okay? But it's not going higher than 4. Even there where it was trying to spook me, it was not going higher than the number 4. So this, at the moment, I would say this isn't an EMF 5 level ghost. This is simply a ghost that's extremely active. He threw something, and again the EMF reader starts reacting. So moving away from the room, you can see this gets quieter. 2, 0, 2, because I've got closer. 0. So it's a very good tool for working out what direction the ghost is in, what room the ghost is in. Such a useful tool. So skipping ahead to a different video here, guys. This was a later mission. I'm again taking the EMF reader with me. I'm out there looking actively for this ghost. I've come into the bedroom. Okay, that noise is a jump scare. You'll notice the EMF detector isn't reacting at all. It's not reacting at all because the ghost isn't interacting. That's just a jump scare. That's a scripted jump scare. I just wanted to point that out. Now, actually, the ghost was in that room. I think we'll jump to that scene. But you notice the EMF reader didn't do anything at all. So this is a good few minutes later, guys. I'd gone through the whole house, and all of a sudden you can see we've got detections. Yeah, it's detecting activity in this room, and it's doing it through the wall, so that's worth pointing out to you. This device does detect activity through walls. And as before, you're seeing readings between 2 and 4. No sign of a level 5. No activity. No movement from the EMF reader. Nothing. No activity at all. So here we've got our last clip, guys. This is a mission where I actually managed to come across a slightly different ghost, and I'll show you it collecting evidence. So we've walked around the house. I detect something. Now, I didn't hear any noise, so the EMF reader, again, was a really useful detection device. I did not have any idea that the ghost was in here. I didn't hear anything. This device told me this is where the activity was. I come in here, and it talks to me, and immediately, look at that, number 5. Evidence 5. Okay. So we're picking up evidence 5 very easily. Very often when it interacts with something, it still leaves a lower level of EMF. The light switch was a 5. That's fine. But the pan was a 4. So just because it's an EMF level 5 ghost does not mean that the evidence is always level 5. Sometimes it will spend a lot of time giving you 2s, 4s, back to 2s again, and then briefly it will give you a level 5 piece of evidence. Here, this guy is quite active and he's given us a lot of evidence. So there we go, guys. EMF reader. I honestly think it's an S-tier device. I highly recommend that you take it with you every time you start this game. Every time you get on a map, pick it up. Have someone on the team, if you're in multiplayer, pick it up. Have somebody with it. It's fantastic at detecting ghosts. which gets you started. The moment you find out what room a ghost is in is the moment you can start collecting evidence. Yeah, pick it up, take it, buy an extra one if you want your teammate to have one as well. Fantastic tool. So that's the EMF reader. Thanks very much.